Alright guys, this is Breaker and I'm back with a replay that I took from the front page of Drop.sc and well, I figured I'd go ahead and cast this game between LiquidTaeJa and Sickness. I'm not sure who Sickness is actually, I've never really run across him before. I am inclined to believe, oh, damn it, what did I just do? Wait, what was that? Okay, well it looks like I just paused this replay by accident. Let me fix that. Could have been worse. I could have given you guys total spoilers. 안녕하세요. Good luck, have fun from Taeja. Lower right hand corner, Taeja. 넘넘왜 너님왜 중청 주정하심. I'm not sure what they're talking about. I can read Hangul, but that's about it. And in the upper left hand corner, I'm going to give you guys an introduction to Jung's sickness. 너무에리 누르셨어요? 네. All I can tell you is that this means yes. My Chinese is actually much better than my Korean, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn off this dialogue, guys. I apologize if that's an inconvenience to you and you guys can read Korean, but I just don't want to be distracted by what they're talking about in-game. Besides that, I don't think it's something to marvel at, because I think a majority of the people who watch this video are probably not going to be able to understand it, but you know, I guess now's the time to fill in the time, you know, with what, you know, this is that early game period where we've got nothing but macro time. So talking about the map for just a minute, and then I'm gonna switch on to something else. We do have a bit of a wide open natural. This can make it a little difficult to defend if Terran has stim at just the right time, but conversely, as long as Protoss has excellent control of the high ground and prevents a good deal of those units from getting up around the 7 to 10 minute mark, then that's pretty much good to go. And at the natural, we have LiquidTaeJa throwing down the command center. Is, you know, he's going for an orbital command opener first. Actually, double orbital command opener first. He's gonna try and get greedy on this one. The barracks follow up just behind that. Pretty sure we're not going to see a Reaper. Perhaps we will see a bio follow up, because that is, of course, the safest way to defend an orbital command opener. If you're gonna go double orbital command straight into 111, whoa, you deserve to lose. Just kidding. Might be viable, but your opponent has to be willing to go at you blind, which is basically a coin flip. Anywho, as far as this is concerned, what could happen is force fields. I mean, at the choke over here, force fields could be thrown at a good deal of the bio units, and that'll separate them from, you know, the forward units from the ones in back, and that'll give Protoss, you know, just a way to cut down on reinforcements. The third, rather wide open. I want to say that Hellions could do some damage to it, I guess, if used appropriately. But of course, it's a drop play that's super annoying, really. We're talking Protoss is over here, takes a drop, and then pulls his main army, which moves extremely slowly over in this direction, and then Terran picks up and throws all of his forces in here. Then, you know, there's just, it's hard to recuperate from unless you have a mothership core with full energy. And the appropriate way to benchmark this as Protoss is making sure that your opponent is not going to try and do an all-in at the third and kill everything you've got. Because once you activate that photon overcharge on the first nexus, you've only got 100 more energy to activate the photon overcharge in your main. It's thereby that you should make the choice of whether or not you should recall or just throw down another photon overcharge. Red Bull Silver Edition tastes pretty good. Alright, so as long as we got time to fill in, we do have the definitive bio follow-up that I had mentioned from LiquidTaeJa. 2-gate opener, and what is this? Hold up. 2-gate robo facility opener. It looks like we're gonna have Jung Sickness go in for some early pressure. Stalker comes in and he's gonna see just what's up here. I'm not sure if he actually saw the orbital command. He has not. Right here we are going to have 3 Stalkers, and this is, you know, painfully confusing to say the very least. I don't quite see what Sickness is gonna do. He's got a double gateway and a robo facility on the way. Is he gonna crank out an Immortal and try and take down this bunker? It's possible, but not likely. All we'd have to see from Taeja is essentially a bunch of Marines. Alright. Anywho. TaeJa going defensive right now, adding on a couple of bunkers. And I think now is where we start to see where the game begins to unfold. By the way, if you guys like what you see here, just go ahead and click on the subscribe button. Okay, so here we go. We got Mothership Core and a lot of Stalkers here. And now a couple more gateways being added on, so I'm thinking this is going to turn into an all-in very soon. But the question is, do we have an Immortal in the mix, and are the, is it going to be enough? We see it now, it's nothing but Marines and SCVs going up against Stalkers. And bunker number 1 fell, it's being repaired. LiquidTaeJa with those super sick reflexes, capable of all-killing a good deal of teams. Quantic, I believe, jeez, I'm trying to think of it. The IPL Fight Club, there was one team that he managed to all-kill on his own. I remember him going up against, it was either I Am First or I Am Seed at the MSI Pro World Cups. I actually had an ops position for that tournament, and essentially, he ended up rage quitting after he destroyed his opponent's third on Antigua ship. He already had no way to get out, but this time I'm thinking he could have a way to get out. It simply depends on when he's got those medevacs out. Okay, 4 gateways in the main now. This has gone from forward pressure to all in. Now we do have sentries in the mix, and it looks like for now Sickness is trying to hide them. That was actually very clever thinking, and maybe, just maybe, TaeJa is thinking, okay, well, could this be Blink Stalkers? And I think that's actually a very viable line of thinking. But for the time being, he's not entirely convinced by it. He's just thrown out an SCV to kind of get a look and see just where his opponent is. And there it is. Force field on the main ramp. That's a lot there. I should have caught on to the Warp Prism being made sooner, guys. But this can be some game-ending damage here. And now we see that TaeJa's pulled his SCVs. If he can't hold this, he is in a lot of trouble. I see a lot of players doing this one recently, but TaeJa, come on. He's going to be in a desperate position in the near future. It's just not going to be pretty. And we have to see him somehow focus down these sentries. That's the only way he can hold here. The ramp is clear, but another force field goes down. A lot of units get stimmed. And it looks like now we see, I don't know, Sickness just doing all the damage in the world to TaeJa. If he can come back from this, it'll be nothing short of a miracle. It looks like the entire Bioforce is stuck outside the main, and TaeJa's just going to abandon ship in the main for now. He's got to lift up that orbital command and get it out. His gas income is stuck at nothing. He's already rebuilding another expo over here, as well as a starport. Oh my god, he's ready to commit to all of this. And I think if it's any player who could do this, it would be LiquidTaeJa. Alright, so let's see how this goes. Right now we have 78 supply to 46, and that would be army supply 23 to 48. I don't know, TaeJa, can you hold this? He's pulling SCVs. Oh my god, this is looking really devastating for Sickness and his main army right now. That was a one base all in that just seemed to kind of fail. Just, fizzled and made smoke, but now we have the orbital command over here, or going up to this position, setting itself down as a third, and this one is finally about to finish up. It's going to make itself known as the natural. We have another Warp Prism in production for Sickness. I'm wondering what this could be for. It looks as though the original one was shot down. And now Sickness must be thinking to himself, okay, what is TaeJa doing? Why has he not left the game? And of course, TaeJa is still using this factory as a scout. I want to say that the most critical piece of information that TaeJa needs, but presently does not have, is the fact that his opponent does not have a natural. He's completely unaware of this. Look at this. This is TaeJa's current vision. He has no clue where his Protoss opponent is, and it looks like he's trying to poke back up here and do something. Unfortunately, it cost him a medevac with 3 Marines in it. And he's trying to salvage what he can that's in his main base. Like, we're talking the engineering bay here, this reactor, tech lab, this reactor. And Warp Prism coming back, getting ready to warp in more hurtful units. Meanwhile, TaeJa's just kind of massing up his infrastructure. I think, he could have a decent chance at coming back at this in the near future. It's just going to depend on what his army supply is at and how well he can hold in the near future. If he does, it'll just be the biggest miracle I've ever seen. Okay, so now we have Sickness, just basically really extremely close-minded. Look at this. He doesn't know what his opponent has right now. He's not scouting. Check the APM. TaeJa is just going at it miles per minute, keeping up an average of 350. Now, APM and useful APM are two completely different things, but I mean, come on, we can just see a difference in the player's micros right now. This is what happens when you play Protoss, ladies and gents. Just kidding. And of course, Cygnus is stuck on one base right now. That's the craziest part about this. Okay, so here we go. LiquidTaeJa is about to take some damage at the natural. If he can hold this, if he can kill off a good deal of this main army, then he's in smooth conditions. First two Marauders for his army have just popped out. They are going to contribute a lot of DPS to holding here, and it looks like, excuse me, it looks like Sickness is in a lot of trouble, but I don't think he's too concerned about losing his main army because he's not microing it back. He's thinking to himself, okay, well, if I can kill all these Marines, if I can kill all these Marauders right now, I might be in a good position, and that's just not quite working out for him. But behind this, we see that TaeJa is like, get off of my front door! I want your pylons gone! Checking the income right now. Oh, sorry about that. We did see that SCVs did get pulled. It looks like we had a great deal of them lost just a moment ago. But of course, we also have mules making up for the situation right now. TaeJa actually doing, pretty okay. But he's going to be in a bit of trouble right here, right now. It's okay, though. He's got a couple of Marauders and more than enough Marines to handle this. Blink or no blink, these Stalkers are not getting away from this small bioforce right here. Look at that. Stim has been activated. And now Sickness is in a good deal of trouble. He realizes what kind of a condition he is in. Sickness just throws out a question mark, like, what's up? And he's throwing down his natural nexus while thwarting a factory scout. The bigger picture I want to highlight, though, is that I think he's completely oblivious to that being taken as a third. Sorry, he did just lose that Stalker, so I'd have no vision of it. There it is. He has no vision of it. Also, he's making a mistake. He could have pulled those Immortals a lot sooner to actually deal with the bunkers that were here a few minutes ago, and that would have basically destroyed the base that was right here, but not so much everything that's right here. Maybe we would see TaeJa still in fighting condition, but my god, ladies and gentlemen, if there is one player that could have done this, and only one player, believe me when I say it would be TaeJa. Look at that, the Immortals have fallen! The force fields go down, but it looks like they're not going to do a lot of good. There's going to be so many leftover Marauders left to fight this small gateway army, and there it is. Like, it's just destroyed, and with that, we see Sickness just left the game with a GG. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been BreAKer. I will see you guys next time. This is honestly one of the craziest games I've ever seen in my life.